Yo, what is up YouTube? This is Sharpeye here and I'm bringing you guys another gameplay commentary. And again, today's commentary is not about the gameplay, it's more about the commentary. And today we're going to be talking about the release of DCLAWS 2 Old School RuneScape. So, I don't really like doing informational videos, it's not really my forte, but I feel like no one else is standing up for the RSPS PK community, which is not the biggest community out there, but it definitely does have a decent amount of YouTubers that I see in the yell. I think there's 2 other YouTubers and they just do PK videos, not PK commentaries, more of like PK montages. So I feel like as one of the only commentators that uploads YouTube videos to RSPS PK forums, I'm going to take the responsibility of giving you guys this information, as I did talk to server admins about these particular issues and updates, and I want to go over them with you guys. So I asked Mr. Corrupt, aka Ripper, server admin or server moderator, I asked him, since DCLAWS are being added to Old School, are you going to add it? ? And his reply was yes, eventually. Now, what I get from eventually is, first they have to get the scripts for the DCLAWS. I don't know if they're gonna grab it from once the original RuneScape does release it, or if they're gonna try and find older scripts from when it was released previously, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have the same stats as when it was released previously. So there's not going to be much change whether they get it from the old release or the new release. I think if they want to get the fastest result out of this, they should go with the old scripts, try and find an old one if they can. I don't know even how you go about that, but if they can, that would be pretty awesome. And I continued, the next day I heard on the yell box, Focus and a couple people were asking about DCLAWS and the ballista and all these new things that Old School is adding to the game. And so I figured that I would follow up with Mr. Corrupt about, ballista and the Zenite update. And he did not quite reply to me. He didn't get to my personal message, which is understandable. I'm sure he's pretty busy with doing other things. I guess taking from his first answer about the DCLAWS, we are most likely going to see the ballista and the Zenite update coming to RSPS PK. And let's get into what this these updates could hold in store. If you guys are not following the Old School updates, I know a lot of people who play private servers have quit playing Old School, either because it's too hard or there's way too much going on, mostly because it's too hard. It's a lot harder in Old School to make money and to level up than it is in a lot of private servers, and spawn servers are very appealing to a lot of Old School RuneScape players, because I personally had a max main and billions of GP and a big bank when in 2007, so I didn't want to go through having to remax out my account or having to go through all those quests and all this stuff. So I did quit Old School RuneScape, even though it has been out for like a few years. I made a Zerker account and I PK'd on it, and the most recent reason why I quit is because I was PKing, died, and rage quit off the game and ended up losing my fighter torso and my rune defender, which I had just gotten back because I did lose a rune defender earlier. So I was like, you know what, I getting the fighter torso was hard enough. Losing it again and trying to get it again is gonna be ridiculous. At least in RSPS PK you can just buy it. And these dogs are barking. The first time I tried to record this, they were barking. Now they are barking again. So now that I finally got those dogs to stop barking, hopefully for a decent amount of time so I can finish this commentary, we're gonna talk about the Zenite update, which in turn gets you the Zenite ring, Zenite necklace, Zenite bracelet, Zenite amulet when they're unenchanted, And then when you do enchant them, You get the Ring of Suffering, the Necklace of Anguish, the Tormented Bracelet, and the Amulet of Torture. So with the Zenyte update, first off, we're going to go with the Ring of Suffering, talk about what that does for you. So players can make this, and this is going to be a great way for the economy to flourish. You know, with the addition of anglerfish, the fishing community was able to make money by fishing, and the PKing community actually did get anglerfish to PK with. So now the crafting community, you know, the skilling community is going to get more ways to make a lot of money with this Ring of Suffering and Zenyte update, which will help the economy, you know, circulation of money. And it requires 93 magic, which, I mean, you can already spawn your magic level. You can spawn the runes. So the only thing you're gonna really need is the crafting level to make this, and of course the gems. You're gonna have to figure out how to get the gems, probably from mining. I don't know how people get gems in RSPSPK. Actually, one of my friends was asking about how to get gems. They were trying to get some onyx or dragonstone. The Ring of Suffering acts as a ring of recoil. So you can charge it with Ring of Recoils, and you get a maximum of 100,000 charges. So you can have 2,500 rings stored into this one ring, and if you imbue it, you get a plus 20 in all of the defense bonuses. So this ring is pretty good. I mean, it's not a berserker ring where you have maximum output damage, but you do get defense and Ring of Recoils stacked into it, and it will really help for people who are doing Zulrah. Now we're gonna go to the Occult Necklace OR. Now I don't think this is part of the Zenyte update, but it was a part of the update that occurred with the Zenyte update. So the Occult Necklace is a OR, the ornament kit that you attach to the Occult Necklace. It gives you, I think it is the best in slot for magic attacks, so it helps a lot with the hybrid community, people who want to do 6-way switches. You know, it really does help them out. But now let's go back to the Zenyte update, where we have the Amulet of Torture doing the best in slot for melee bonuses above the Fury. So it would really help, you know, max hybriders or max melee PKers, and it would help with wrist fights. It does require 75 hit points to do, so if you're trying to like maybe be a pure and you're going under 75 hit points, you might not be able to use this. And you also do need a ornament kit, so I don't know how, or it doesn't need an ornament kit, but you can ornament this for even more bonuses. So I don't know how players would receive ornament kits. I'm assuming probably from the PK store you could get ornament kits, and you would be able to get, you know, better equipment. And now let's move on to the Necklace of Anguish, which is the best in slot for range, accuracy, and range strength bonuses. And it's just like the other two, requires 75 hit points, and it would give a best in slot for that particular attack style. Now let's go to the Heavy Ballista, which requires 65 range to wield. It acts as the best in slot for range people, but it does take 4 ticks to attack. You know, it's not the quickest weapon, but it acts as almost like an AGS for range PKers, because you can hit upwards of 76 on people with max range and the Heavy Ballista, which, as you guys saw in my previous video, you know, range PKing is not that viable in RSPSPK, but with the Heavy Ballista it may become more viable. Now I forgot to mention about the Tormented Bracelet, which acts as a best in slot bracelet for rain or magical attacks, providing a 10 plus magic attack and a 5% increase in magic damage and a 2% magic damage or prayer bonus. All the Zenyte equipment requires 75 hit points to use, so that's always a must. So now let's talk about the main attraction that everyone wants to see back into old school RuneScape and RSPSPK is Dragon Claws. Now, Dragon Claws are probably one of my favorite 60 attack weapon, probably one of my favorite special attack weapons of all time. They look sexy, their special attack is crazy, and it's I think the only special attack that you can hit 4 times almost in one stack, and actually exactly one stack. I really do want to see this come back, and as you guys can see, the bonuses are exactly the same as they used to be pre-EOC. The strength bonus is 56, and the defense bonuses are 13, 26, 7. You also have the attack bonuses, 41 for stab, 57 for slash, and -4 for crush. Obviously, claws are not a crush weapon, they're more of a slash weapon. And you do get 4 special attacks with this weapon, and it does say the release date is 18th of February 2016, but Old School has not released the Dragon Claws yet. It was actually just pulled last week, so a more reasonable, prediction is that they might release 18th of February 2017, but I don't think that information has been released yet. But Dragon Claws are in last man standing if you get Bloodier Keys, so I think that's what the release date is referring to. Actually, I was wrong, it does take 50% of the special attack to use Dragon Claws. I don't know why I said 25% earlier, but that is the biggest attraction, is that Dragon Claws will come back to RSPSPK. And I do hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please leave a like. If you guys did not, please leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys did not like about the video. And as always, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. I do upload, weekly, or even more frequent than weekly. So if you guys do want to see more content, please subscribe. As always, this is Sharp. Bye. Peace.
From everything we have done, it only takes us one more